Hello everybody, this is Howard the Teaser King coming to you. Really not going to post any plays because there's only just a few games. Quick recap of last week. Had a good week. Hit my lock of the Kansas City with the Atlanta over, and I hit the Alabama-Clemson playoff game. I hit Green Bay. And Oakland didn't play that well. Denver's really killed me. When I block Denver, they get killed, and when I play against them, they beat me. So it's one of those things. And the surprise was Seattle. I can't believe, as bad as Frisco is, that they only beat them 25-23. In the teaser, we were good if they didn't, have a safety where they snapped the ball over the punter's head. Very unlike Seattle. And so basically, those were my two big losers were Oakland and Seattle, but I didn't lock them. The point spreads were too high. Again, if Seattle was 6 and I go to even, that's probably a lock and it's a winner, but spread was too high to really get too excited. And again, Oakland, I knew Carr wasn't playing. I thought McLaughlin would be good, or McGloin, but he got hurt. Connor Cook I like, so not really disappointed in there. So anyway, ended up 79% for my pros for the year, not counting the playoffs, of course, because that's happening. So the grand total of 158 and 42, 79.5% for the year in the pros. Just taking the pros. Sometimes I'll put college and pro and call it a pro pick. I'm not counting the college pick. I think I had that last week with Kansas City, Alabama. I don't call Alabama a pro pick, just the Kansas City. Alabama did what I thought. They looked good. Clemson just really killed Ohio State. And the whole bowl thing's really anticlimactic because you watch that, then I didn't care. The Rose Bowl was exciting, but it didn't mean anything, and the Wisconsin Western didn't mean anything, and it'd kind of like be the NFL have a playoff game, right? So this week's playoff games, and then the next day you've got Cincinnati playing Denver in a game. Who cares? I mean, well, it's a bowl game. Well, who cares? It doesn't mean anything because you've got the playoffs. So I just feel college needs to have 16 teams, have an 18 against 18 playoff. You can still have the bowls, but they're really ridiculous. It's almost like you want another playoff with the Sun Belt and the Mountain West. Let them have a 16-team playoff, and let App State play Troy and Ohio and Western Michigan, and they can have their winner. And then over here you have, Michigan should have been in there, Penn State should have been in there, USC should have been in there. I mean, it's really a joke to think if you have a loss or two losses, when you have a really tough schedule, that's it, you're done. This whole conference playoff is ridiculous. It should be the top two teams in each conference should play, not the best in the East and the best in the West, or North, South, or whatever you want to call it. I find that to be really stupid. But anyway, so that's what I saw. In the pros, to critique it, I think Seattle, I don't know, they're going to overcome the injuries. They just don't have that strong defense. And here's where you draw the fine line of, boy, Seattle is this great team going to the Super Bowl, and now they're falling off. Their trends are changing. When's the time to get off of them? Also Denver. Also, here comes Oakland up. Here comes Kansas City up. So this is where my trends really help me, and this is my whole nature of the trend analysis, because it shows me all of a sudden KC's really strong in the teaser. The Giants are really strong in the teaser. Other teams are falling down, and Denver's fault. Denver, most teams are like 12-4, 13-3 in a teaser. Denver was, I think, 9-7, which is ridiculous. So you need to know what you're looking for and when to jump off of the team. And so with Seattle, it's let's see what happens. They still have Russell Wilson and Sherman and a lot of their defense. Bennett, if he's playing. I think they missed Marshawn Lynch, but they're pretty much still there. Yeah, I know they have the injury to their cornerback or safety. I can't remember his name, and I get that. We'll see what happens, but are they on the way down? Before you'd lock them at home. Now, do I even bet them at home? And they just look weak, and all you can do is look at the teams they're playing, and they barely beat Frisco in a must-win game. That raises a flag. Denver gets blown out at Kansas City when they need the game. That's a red flag. So you start looking at that, and then you start seeing Oakland coming up, and that's what you're looking for. It always is coach, defense, quarterback. Once you have all three of those, a la New England, they're probably the only one. The other coaches I just don't really like. So you have issues there, but a lot of weak players, a lot of weak coaches. They don't know how to analyze quarterbacks as good as I do. I mean, I can see them in college and know they're going to be good in the pros. And I can tell you who's not going to be good in the pros. And if you listen to my draft videos, I clearly state Jared Goff's not going to do anything because he had a 5-interception day at Utah in a big game in college when Cal played Utah. And I'm like, this guy's not a great quarterback if he's throwing all these interceptions in a big game. And that's what you're looking for. How do they play in the big game in the conference? And if they don't win it and they throw a lot of interceptions, they're not good quarterbacks. That's all you need to see. It doesn't matter his arm strength, as everything else. He panics under pressure, and that's not going to win. So that's what I look at. So anyway, this week will be for $100. You get every game through the Super Bowl plus the national title game. I'll throw all that in. And this will be my last one because there's nothing left. I mean, so you have 3 rounds of playoffs, the Super Bowl, and the national Alabama-Clemson game. So that would be $500. So for $100, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and good luck to you. So I'll do that. Just go to my site and buy. It'll say NFL picks $100 1 week. Just buy that, and I'll see it, and I'll get the email, and then I'll email you the password of the whole total, so you'll get that. So no problem. People ask me, when do I post the games? It really doesn't matter if you paid tonight or if you paid tomorrow. I'll probably post it tomorrow night. I might post it on Friday. There's really no hurry at this point. I'll check for injuries, but I'm not really seeing anything like that. So I'm really not looking at, are there injuries or things like that. I already kind of know in these games, unless you're on like the injured reserve list, pretty much these guys are not going to play. I already know they're not going to play, or they are. Like the guy in Seattle, the cornerback, I can't remember his name. I know he's out. He broke his leg. So the players like that. Most everybody else is going to play injured. It's a playoff game. So you just get down to who do you like. So anyway, that's what I have. So $100 buys you everything through the Super Bowl. And any questions or comments, please let me know. As always, just hit me an email or you can leave a message here, or go to the site. You'll see my email and just hit there. So I'm very happy to help as always. And that's about it. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas. Enjoy the holiday while the holiday's over. So enjoy this New Year, and let's see if we can take it in and hit them all going through the Super Bowl. Even on the Super Bowl, I'll give you a teaser. I'll play the team, and then I'll play the over/under. You don't have to play it in a teaser. You can play it in a in a parlay if you want. Or I might just say, boy, this is like when Seattle played Denver. I just love Seattle getting 2 points from Denver, and I said just play Seattle. You could tease it, but basically the play was take Seattle and getting the 2 points, and they won by 50 points. So if I see that, I'll certainly let you know and say, hey, you don't even need to tease it. I do talk about teasers and straight bets, and the reason I do is, okay, so 1977 I start, and so it's 40 years. I'm very analytical. I hate to lose. So I'm betting since 1967 or 68. And, I bet straight. And then when the teasers come along, what happens is with the 6 points, or 7-point or 10-point teaser, whatever you like to play. The 10-point teasers, I don't find they give you the odds, and I don't find the 4 points helps you enough. Maybe it does if you want a -10 to 0, like with Seattle last week. You would have won with Seattle if you took it from 9.5 or 10.5 down to a half or 1.5. You would have won the Frisco game. There's a point of it. But generally, if you take a dog from 2 to 8, you're pretty much solid, and you don't need it going from 2 to 12. I don't find, because I'm picking a team I think is going to win. So anyway, the reason I kind of point to the teaser is because a lot of times it turns losers into winners. And I know if you look after the game and it goes, oh, you didn't need the teaser there. My brother does that to me all the time. He goes, the team wins 52-0. Well, you didn't need the 6-point teaser. I go, I got to bet the game before the game. I can't bet after the game. And before the game, let's say I'm taking a 4-point dog, I take it up to 10, and they win 35-0. Well, but I got to make the bet beforehand. It's a good bet, and that's why I'm doing it. And to find the second game is a joke. I mean, I look at how many games I play, 9, 10 games a weekend. And I'm hitting 79% on the game. So I find 10 games to play, not 2. So where my advantages comes in the 6 points. Now, if I lose the teaser, you would have lost betting it straight anyway. So let's look at the Oakland-Denver game. So Denver's a 1.5-point favorite. So I took Oakland at 7.5, knowing Carr's out, but figuring McGloin's going to keep it close. They need the game for the 2 seed. So let's just look at that one. Well, if you would have bet Oakland plus 1.5, you'd have lost anyway. Or, so here's the loser, or the Seattle game. If you took it from 9.5 or 10.5 down to 3.5 or 4.5, you lose it anyway, but you'd have lost it laying 9.5 or 10.5. So you still would have lost the game. The fact you lost the teaser, the fact you won the other half, if you get really analytical and really advanced in the teasers, what happens is you win the first half, and now you're going, oh shit, I lost the second half, I lost the teaser. Well, first of all, you could have trapped the game where you couldn't have lost. Secondly, you already got the one game in, which maybe you needed the teaser to get the winner on that game. So that happens a lot. So the teaser turns a lot of losers into winners. And then if we lose the teaser bet, you'd have lost the straight bet anyway. Now maybe you wouldn't have picked that game, but all my trends are in teaser trends, which I turn a 50-60% trend into a 90% trend. So 9 times out of 10, I'm going to win that game. Therefore, that's why I do it. I make that play based on the teaser trend, which opens up a lot more betting facility, because now you can, the dog in the Dallas Giant game is the play in a teaser. You bet the teaser. Okay, the Giants won 10-7. We didn't need the teaser because Dallas was, a 2 or 3 point favorite. So we didn't need the teaser, but the Giants in 8 or 9, I don't remember what the spread was, in a series where the dog wins 20 out of 22, I got 95% chance of winning betting the dog. And so if that's my point of why I bet the teaser. But it took me a long time to come up with that. It took me years to figure that out. Before I would just bet on Joe Montana and I'd win all the time. And then, so you look for the superstars and you bet them. But that's my point. So why I do teasers is that. But the straight bets, it's hard. Even if it's a college game, you're laying 24, they win by 20, and oh shit, if I had a teaser, I would have won, but I lost with it. It's not the extra 6 points. I find turns a 50-60% bet into a 75-80% bet, and that's how I hit 80% of that. So that's my point. Now, again, I'm not hitting 80% of my teasers. I still get people that are confused by that, and I'm talking about the bet, not the teaser, because the teaser is a totally different animal. You can't go 80% hitting teaser bets. That's why you vary the dollar amount, and you don't worry about percentage. If you hit the big dollar, if I hit the lock last week, and I have it for far more dollars than my low bet, a 4 or 5 unit bet or whatever, then I can lose 2 or 3 low limit bets, and as long as I win the lock or win strong bets, then I'm up. So that's why it's not the percentage, it's how you bet the teaser. And that's the art of the teaser that I do very, very well, and I've learned over all these years how to pair the teams and do that. So anyway, but certainly if you're struggling, lower your bet. If I put 11 unit and we're struggling and you make it $200, make it $100. If I'm having trouble hitting the second game like I was in the bowls, just trap the game. Okay, we hit the first game. Army won. Here comes Temple. All right, we'll play whoever Temple was playing. Wake Forest. Okay, I'm going to take Wake Forest straight and trap it. Oh, Temple lost. We lost the teaser, but you won it back on Wake Forest. So you always have that option. You have the option of playing a 4-team teaser and trapping the last game. It brings up a multitude of hedges to come back to make money or to not lose money. That's the advantage of the teaser. I get the first game in, I got the second game. I bet okay, let's go to let's go to the Atlanta game over with Kansas City. Well, they were on the same time, but let's take I don't know, there was a game, I can't remember, but there was a game at 1 o'clock and a game at 4:30. And so the 1 o'clock, well, let's take the Lions. The Lions in Green Bay was the night game. So let's say we have Kansas City. That's what I did. I had a teaser, Kansas City, Green Bay. So let's say here's Kansas City +1 against San Diego. They blow them out. They win. Here comes Green Bay +3. The line moves to 3.5. We already got the teaser in at +3. I can take the Lions in 3.5, and I can't lose. And if the game stays within a field goal, I'm fine. And it didn't. I think Green Bay won by 7, but basically, I mean, you won the teaser there. And if you bet it straight, you would have won it. But it gives you the option of the trap. So let's say you took Detroit in 9.5. Now you can bet Green Bay -3.5, and if the game landed between 3.5 and 9.5, which it did, you would have won both bets. You tell me where, because of the 6 points, I get this huge spread that if I can fall in the middle of, I win the teaser, I win the straight bet, I win them both, and I can't lose them both. So there's a lot of advantages to teasers that you have to understand and think, and it's all how you're feeling. You can just look at my picks and don't play them. Don't play, Oakland in 2 teasers. Just say, I'm just going to play them in 1, or I'll play a 4-team teaser, whatever. And I'm just showing you methods that have worked for me, that normally work for me. But again, it's not 100%, so you need to understand that also. And all the plays I play are strong plays. But again, I always refer to cards. Pocket aces loses some of the time, and therefore you just have to understand that's part of the game. So a 90% trend loses. Oakland, Seattle loses to try to get the 2 seed. Okay, they lost, but if New Orleans scored another touchdown late, they beat Atlanta. Seattle's the 2 seed, so they're playing for the 2 seed. If you're not getting their best game, that's all you're asking for, is give me their best game, and hopefully they're a lot stronger than Frisco, which they were, but they're just not, their defense just isn't what it used to be with the injury. But anyway, there's just some helpful tidbits to you. Again, $100 special. You get all the playoff games through the Super Bowl, and there'll be a teaser and possibly a straight game in the Super Bowl, but you'll know who to take. And the national championship game, which should be a very good game. I'm still figuring that one out. But anyway, the playoffs were easy so far with Alabama, Clemson. But I won't have a free teaser this week. There's just not enough games. But I'm just, for 100, you get everything through the Super Bowl. So that's 4 weeks of playoffs and the national title. So that would be $500. So for 100. So anyway, Happy New Year. Again, www.teaserking.com. Go to the purchase picks. Go to the pros 1 week, $100. Hit it, and I'll send you the total password. I'm just not going to bother my AT guy to go to the thing and change it again. So just go there, hit the 100, and I'll send you the password. So good luck, everybody. Happy holidays, and I wish everybody happy, healthy life and goodwill. Thank you very much.